A very good morning to one and all present here. So, hey listeners, we are here again on Thursday morning. Welcome to yet another episode of our LinkedIn talk show series, Productivity League, hosted by We360.ai. Before we dive into our discussion, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Archana Tiwari, People and Culture Manager at We360.ai. I am thrilled to be your moderator for today's session. The topic of today's webinar is Dynamics Easy Ways to Enhance a Supportive Environment. So, in this session, we will delve into the core elements of support, emphasizing effective communication and the cultivating of the positive relationship among team. Attendees will learn simple yet impactful team building strategies, conflict resolution strategies, and ways to instill a growth mindset within the team. The webinar aims to empower participants with actionable steps to enhance their team dynamics and create a collaborative and supportive work environment. Now, let me introduce our esteemed speakers for today's session. We are delighted to present an exceptional panel featuring four speakers for today's webinar. We have Miss Sonia. Uh, she is head of human capital at Mobile First Applications. Welcome, Sonia ji.
Thank you, Archana.
Most welcome. Now we have this as a second speaker. We have Dr. S. Naga Siddhartha. He is Chief Human Resource Officer at Urban Piper. He brings a wealth of experience into the HR and been into the top positions with multiple industry leaders with brands like Super Daily by Swiggy, Vedantu, etc. Welcome, Dr. Siddharth.
Delighted to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Ms. Shraddha Joshi with us. She is the HR manager at Celoxys. Welcome, Shraddha.
Yeah, hi Archana. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Mr. Sham Gaur with us. He is a senior manager at Relevance Lab. Hey, Sham, I would like to welcome you.
Thank you, Archana. Delighted to be here.
Thank you so much. So, again, I would like to welcome all the esteemed panelists for the day. I would request all the panelists can briefly talk about their journey so far, and then we can, get into our real action by taking the questions of our listeners. So, I would request Sonia if you can start, talk about your journey so far.
Okay. Myself Sonia, and I'm working with mobile first applications since 2017. So currently, I'm working as an HR head at mobile first applications, and I have around 7+ years of experience in HR domain. And to talk about my company, so Mobile First is a software development company having its verticals in fintech, generative AI, and also sports tech. So we are a team of 75 plus people currently, and most of my team members are working remotely. Like I can say 80 to 85% of my team members are working remotely. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Dr. Siddharth, if you can briefly talk about your journey.
Hey, I have been in the profession for over 15 years, based in Bangalore, also part of the National HRD network. I worked across companies, domains, and so on. Presently, I'm with Urban Piper. It's a wonderful company, great culture. We build products for the restaurant tech. Our three products are helping more than 35,000 restaurants across 8 countries. And yeah, it's again a delight and pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Ms. Shraddha, if you can briefly talk about your journey.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I have an experience of almost 12 plus years, and I've been working as an HR generalist all throughout my career. And I've worked in Bangalore as well as currently I'm in Pune. So currently I'm working with a company called Celoxys Technology, which is a software project management company. And the journey so far has been really good. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Sham, if you can talk about your journey.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for inviting me. So I come with a decade of experience into recruitment, resource management, and appraisals. So I've been working on the same company with over a decade now, Signex, and now which is Relevance Lab. We are into cloud services. It's a software company based out in Ahmedabad and Bangalore, right? I'm from Ahmedabad.
Great, great, great. Pleasure to have all of you with us today. So now let's get into some specific questions that we have received from our listeners. On those questions, our listener would want to understand your insights on the same. So Sham, I would like to start with you. So, psychological safety is one of the major factor at workplace. So, if you can, talk about a few factors or the importance of the psychological safety within a team, and if you can share some strategy which you have fostered into the, your organizational culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, first of all, psychological safety is nothing, but a team who can express themselves freely, right? We can bring our whole self to work, right? We are open to take interpersonal risks, right? Our leaders allow us to do that, right? We can speak up during the meetings. We can disagree with where the meeting is headed. We can think out of the box. Our ideas, our suggestions are heard through by the leadership team, right? And we know that if at all there is a failure, the team is there to support us, right? So when we have this kind of environment around us, we can say that we are working uh, with a team which promotes or which uh, talks about psychological safety, right? Once we achieve to that level, once we are at that
Mhm.
path, we tend to have a team which is more innovative, which is more committed to the goals of the organizations, which is more productive, right? So we just have to encourage open communication, right? We have to foster their innovation and creativity, this all factors, team collaboration, or maybe employee engagement. So this all factors create a kind of environment where team members can feel free and feel safe to work with.
Correct, correct. Yeah, so even I have observed that many a times if the organization is, maybe having the kind of a culture where people are not able to express or their ideas, freely, then that particular organization cannot grow because all the creative, minds, if the creative minds are not working, then obviously best will not come out.
Exactly.
That's correct. Sonia, my next question is for you. So, what do you think that how we can what kind of a strategy or organization should use to implement the uh, a culture of a trust and openness among the team members?
Okay. So, we believe in leading by examples. Okay. So, when the leaders itself, they demonstrate this trustworthiness or transparency or openness day in and day out themselves, that will lay a strong foundation for other team members to follow, is what we believe in. Okay. And also, effective communication within the team plays a very important role. So we as an core management team or an HR team, we have to provide that open communication channel wherein people feel safe and comfortable sharing their challenges or ideas. Okay. And also that will help in creating regular check-ins with the teams, and also that will also help in building a strong bond within the team members. Okay. Once we have a strong bond within the team members, that will definitely build the trust, is what we believe. And also I think we'll have to provide constructive feedback. Providing feedback, whether it is positive or negative, in a respectful manner, helps in building the trust and openness. Uh, so that not only builds trust, but also help the team members in their professional growth and continuous improvisation also. And I think conflict resolution, that in our day to day life, this is part of our daily routine, conflict resolution. But I think addressing the conflicts promptly and also impartially, I think demonstrates a commitment of the organization to resolving issues and maintaining a supportive environment. And I think these are the aspects that we have been which has helped us in cultivating trust among the team members. And to I think based on my learnings over the years, and experience, I've seen that our ex employees are coming back to us, so which is a
Oh,
testimony
that's
of
very,
trust and
yeah.
comfort in the company. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really great. I mean, it's a very great input, and very rightly said by you that leading by example. Because I also feel the, I mean, if you want to build certain culture in the organization, it's always top down approach. People follow, like in the family, kids follow their parents. So obviously, the practices leaders are following, then obviously they can impart within the organization very easily. So true. Nice input, Sonia.
Thank
So,
you.
Shraddha, my next question is for
Yeah.
you. So, like our lifestyles are really, I mean, the schedules are hectic, tight, lifestyle is changing a lot. So,
Correct.
I mean, if you can discuss the, kind of a measure do you take to address and prevent the burnout within the team? And how does this contribute to maintaining a supportive work environment?
Yes. So basically, see, burnout. Generally, this word is, you tend to see this, hear this word a lot today in these days. So basically, it's just that the working hours, flexibility, or the how job is described to them and how they work and all these things. So for this, maybe you need to give them a clear expectations and like how what they're supposed to give us back, and how they're supposed to manage their work related stress, how they're supposed to what targets they have been given. So this is very important. So clear expectations is very very important, where you're it's the manager's role, where they play an important role in giving the clear expectations to the people. Then the workload management, again, we need to monitor the workloads, distribute the task evenly. Then yeah, encourage realistic goal setting and prioritize tasks to prevent overwhelming team members. Then regular checks in, as one of the members said, we need to have one-on-one checks to discuss workload challenges, and whether they are able to communicate openly and discuss their issues, and identify the potential issues, whatever it could be. And then we also need to give them a regular feedback wherein we need to see whether we are able to guide them properly, or whether they are feeling comfortable, they are feeling recognized, are they understanding the job roles properly. That is one thing. And then again, yes, one thing important what I feel is recognition and appreciation. So most of the time it happens that people are not being appreciated or recognized. So recognition and appreciation is again a very important thing. Regular recognition through various means. So in our company, what we do is we have a monthly forums wherein people come and discuss openly. We talk about their achievements. We appreciate their work, and we also have a bell kept. So wherein they just come and just ring, just we use this bell so to appreciate particular person who if he's done something good. So that is one. And then you need to take certain wellness initiatives also in the company, like wellness programs, such as maybe some health checkups, regular health checkups. It could be anything. It could be a full body health checkup or eye checkup, or mental health awareness campaigns, some workshops, and probably prioritizing employee well-being is an integral part of the workplace culture. That is one thing. And then yeah, one more, like the last point I could say is empathy and support. So you need to foster a culture of empathy, support, and sensitivity. So we need to be attentive to the individual needs, listen them actively, and give them a proper guidance for that, and have a creative and supportive team environment where it helps to buffer against the burnout.
Correct, correct. Yeah, so very rightly said that the goal, whatever goals you are setting, that particular goal should be realistic, and the
Yes.
smart goals should be there. That can all obviously, I mean, drive the team in a positive or right direction. Thank you so much. Dr. Siddharth, my next question is, is for you, and that is, kind of related to goals. So, I mean, if you can, briefly discuss about the OKRs and KRAs, because we have seen that in the organization who is not using the OKRs and KRAs properly, they have not designed and utilized, they cannot perform, or the team is not able to deliver the desired results. So how we can implement it properly to enhance the performance of the organization also. Over to you, Siddharth.
Sure, Dr. Archana. So I think there's a lot of buzz and a lot more of noise around OKRs and KRAs, typically in the social media circles. I think what's important is to understand that both are very different things. KRAs are typically your business as usual, role related work that one does. Right, for a HRBP, it could be onboarding, ensuring people come on board, they understand their roles, their training needs are taken care of, and the appraisals happen, so on and so forth. Whereas your OKRs are typically organization level moonshot goals that right from the board of directors there is a very clear alignment. And I mean, the difference between OKRs and KRAs is that KRAs are typically about the what of that needs to be achieved, and OKRs start with the O, and the O are the whys. So people need to understand why is it that someone's doing something, and OKRs can definitely give extremely hyper selective um, outcomes that can transform organizations. And the conversations that happen before the OKRs are set, the kind of alignment that happens at every team level, at every manager level, and so on, definitely can help drive goals that are transformational in nature. So the fundamental difference is KRAs are business as usual, OKRs are transformational in nature. Having said that, can a person have both OKRs and KRAs? Definitely, and they ideally need to. And the mix would change as much as 80% OKRs, 20% KRAs at, let's say, the C-suite level. And, exactly the opposite, 20% OKRs and 80% KRAs at, let's say, the frontline level, or maybe a 0% OKRs and a 100% KRAs. We've had a wonderful experience with OKRs over the last 18 months in Urban Piper, and the level of alignment, the level of commitment, the level of energy that OKRs generate, I think is seen to be believed. But given that we have other panel members here, I just kind of say that finally people need to have the commitment and the emotional energy to do anything, and OKRs are a great way to harness that.
True, true. Yeah, so I mean, yes, sometimes people are confused between KR and OKR, and they feel that, or sometimes people are using those, terms interchangeably. So, yeah, so that's a, I mean, huge difference is there, and implementing both in a way which is crucial for the organization is very important. Yeah. So, Sham, again, I'm coming to you. So, if you can talk about or discuss the importance of fostering the sense of purpose and meaning within your team, and I mean, how you feel that this kind of a practice or the culture contributes to overall team satisfaction and motivation.
Yeah, so I'll take classic example now. So Ram Mandir was very recent, right? So our
Correct.
Prime Minister had a vision, right? That okay, this is what I want to do, right? The same vision was communicated well to the teams, right? They understood what significance their work is going to have, and they knew that the connection has a greater purpose, right? The entire flow, the entire from the start when Ram Mandir was uh, when they kept their first stone, right? So from that day till the opening, the entire team worked towards one greater purpose, and that was to have it built rightly, right? So what it does is, it helps the goal and the goal of the individuals, to align with the team's objective, right? It goes in the similar fashion. When we work in a corporate environment, if you're CEO, for example, or if you're leaders, right, they say that, okay, you know what, we are a company, who wants to grow. We want to touch $1 billion, by next year, or by 2025 or 2026. The company feels that, okay, we have a kind of target towards us. Their roles are defined. uh, they know what significant their work are going to be with, the connection towards the greater purpose, that, okay, this is, we are at 25 million, we have to go to a billion company. My role is to get more sales, for example, right? So they know what they are, and they know where they have to be. So the moment we get into those mode, the moment the communication is clear, the moment the vision is clear, we all are aligned, towards the common objective. The organization culture is automatically transformed into a positive way, right? The personal growth and development chances increased. Why? Because at some point we feel that, okay, you know what, to be a $1 billion company, I have to maybe refine my sales speech. I have to maybe, hire more people, right? I have to be more good with marketing. So team starts working, develop themselves, right? Motivation is by default, comes in because we know what we are doing, right? So innovation and creativity again comes handy.
True. Yeah. So, yeah, Sham, so it's right. If the people are clear with the vision and mission, then obviously, aligning their personal goal with the organization goal, it becomes easier. And then they can bring the results on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Sonia, the next question I would like you to take up. Listeners would like to understand that, what kind of strategies do you employ to promote self-care and the well-being among your team members? And how does it contribute to maintaining the supportive team environment during the stressful periods?
So, the strategy here is, identifying and communication and remedy. Okay, this mantra we use. So, team members, knowingly or unknowingly, they undergo a lot of stress, correct? So, maybe due to remote working in our case, so unrealistic expectations and excessive workload, and so many other things, due to unable to manage work life balance. So all those things. So first we need to identify the problem. Okay, so identification is only possible when, the team, when we have an effective communication within the team, and where when there's a trust within the team. Right. So once we identify the problem, I think we, being from the HR department, have a macro view of the entire organization, right? So we can relate to the individual problems and see if there is any pattern exists across the organization. So if there is any pattern, then accordingly we can suggest some individual or group level interventions. Like group level interventions, like we'll conduct virtual wellness programs and like virtual yoga sessions, and also mindfulness workshops and
Mhm.
hackathons and some other team activities we do. And on an individual level, we provide flexible working hours in case of critical requirement. And anyways, we are providing remote working, and also we promote them to take breaks whenever required, and that will help them to balance their work and family both, is what we believe in. Also, apart from that, we have separate mom leaves for working mothers in our organization, to cater to the extra requirements of their parenting. So, what we believe is genuine care, at the right time or the time of need, can make a sea of difference in terms of creating the supportive environment. So, yeah.
True. Yeah, and it's I mean, because you said that 85% of the workforce is working remotely. So it's
Yes,
become
yes,
quite challenging. I mean, there should be no FOMO effect. I mean, they should feel, belongingness need should be satisfied,
yes,
right?
true.
So extra,
Yes,
care needs to be. I
yes,
mean, you
needs to be
have to take care of all the things and I mean, all the needs, what they are feeling. I mean,
there. So
Obviously, because
communication plays a very important role here, Archana.
yeah,
Without the trust and communication, it is not possible to manage the remote work process.
yes, yes, yes. And they have to, I mean, people who are working, from home, they have to understand that they should, draw the line within your personal and, professional life. So that's actually quite challenging, job which you are handling currently.
Yeah, true.
Correct. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your inputs. So, Shraddha, I would like you to take up the next question.
Yes.
So, the next question is, I mean, in your organization, are you using any tool or technology to really, check the performance of your employees? Uh, how do you track and evaluate team's progress? Is there any way, method, technology, or tool you are handling?
Uh, well, yes, we do handle, we do have a software.
Okay,
So one of the softwares we are using is helps us to frame the KRAs and KPIs.
okay,
The indicators, and they are the tracked to
okay,
evaluate the team's progress, and the data which we get through we do the analysis, and
hmm,
we provide the insight to the individual and collective performance data. We see the trends, the performance trends, and accordingly we give the feedback. So it is like the tool allows us to set the goals and everything. And so we have this regular checks like quarterly, or we can do it monthly as well. So
okay,
we have this monthly check-ins and quarterly check-ins and then yearly. So that's the half yearly and the yearly part.
okay.
So then we get that data, and then we use that data for our appraisal systems and all that.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much, Shraddha. Dr. Siddharth, my next, I would like you to, throw some light on the next question. As Shraddha was talking about the data, so a lot of data, HR Fraternity is also handling lot of data nowadays. So if you can, talk about the HR analytics, and what is your opinion how it is being used in the organization, and what is the right way how people should handle the data and use the HR analytics to enhance the performance of the organization?
Firstly, Archana, I think you've been doing such a stellar job of, synthesizing everything so nicely. I need to,
Thank you so much.
yeah, acknowledge you, appreciate you for it. And of course, all my fellow panelists, I've been listening to you and learning so much, really grateful. I think we have a wonderful audience as well today, and so many folks listening. And Paresh wants to ask the question, I guess, but that I leave it to you. Coming quickly to this entire thing around data and analytics, right? I'm not sure many people know, but then I wrote one of the first books on HR analytics in India around 2010, and that was called, a book that was groundbreaking and revolutionary by Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. Anyone who wants a free copy of the book can just send me a message on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to share.
Sure.
My fundamental, oh, you're welcome. And my fundamental approach with HR analytics is that there are passive analytics and active analytics, right? So passive analytics are what we look at in terms of, okay, let's say attrition data. There's so much of other data that's available in the organization. But then I, invite people to push the boundaries, look at psychographic data. I give you an example of what we did at Urban Piper, right? So there's always this thing around engagement surveys and so on. So we said, hey, why engagement surveys? And I have done my doctoral on, on engagement and something more beyond that called, how can people contribute more at the workplace? So we went above and beyond and actually made our own psychometric. We looked at regression, used statistics, and then found that there are basically six factors that employees value, which makes them contribute more to the organization in a very willing and happy way. Right? I think those last two words are very important: willing and happy. If you and I go into a MBA college, Dr. Archana, and we ask people, hey, how many of you came here and how many of you were sent here? There's going to be a ripple of giggles.
I can totally relate with that.
Right, and I think that's also important at the workplace, right? How many of you came here and how many of you were sent here by life circumstances, by bills, by credit cards, by aspirations, by family, and so on, right? So it's very important that people come to an organization willingly, happily, and then do work and do even more work. And that's exactly what we did. So we have used analytics to understand, what are those factors, basically, for the benefit of our audience. It's very important that people feel there's an opportunity to influence upward, sideways in an organization. They believe that their managers treat them with respect, they appreciate them, the managers care for them, and of course, it's a fairly non-political place to work. So these are factors that we've started measuring. 100% of the company, that's 33% monthly, and we have developed what's called the People Power Index. All our managers have a score, and everyone's free to look at every manager's score every quarter, and that means that managers are constantly helped to do better. Right? There are two ways to position this. One is to say it's an examination for managers. No, no, no. We say that's not so, and we put out all those courses out there to managers, and managers are trained as coaches. So it's really a holistic approach of how to use H analytics, use it in a very active, positive sense, and help people succeed. Finally, people make the business succeed, and it's important that as HR we stand behind them and give them that comfort and strength that we are there to help them succeed. So that's the long and short of what I have about analytics.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Siddharth, for wonderful insights. And you reminded me about, by taking the names, regression analysis, and all, back to my PhD days. So it's so nice to recall those days. And yes, sometimes this happens, like, right, people enter into some profession by chance, not by choice. So yeah, so that is the difficult situation. Moving further, Mr. Sham, I would, uh, we would like to understand that being I see a lot of reels and memes on HR, but it is very very tough job because you are handling a lot of people at the time. People come with the different emotions, and a lot of things happens, and everything uh, around the people only in the organization.
Correct.
So, how to stay updated on HR trends and best practices? If you can share an example how you implemented any new approach or strategy based on your research and insights.
See, first of all, I'll say that I've been lucky to be part of, something that's called HR Association of India, right? We have, so
Great.
I'm part of a group, where we invite all the leaders throughout the weeks, and we have different panel session, masterclass, connecting the dots, and
That's very
uh,
wonderful.
different programs and uh, initiatives that we have done, right? Now, all these leaders, when they come, they talk, since the part of the backend guy, we always hear them, right? But I always remember one thing from my leader, that's Dr. Ankita Singh. What she says is, it has to be apt for you, right? Whatever you do in your organization, whatever you do in your life, there are tons of books, there are tons of videos, reels, learnings, TEDx speakers, right? They all have their own ways of thinking. They all have different people, different teams, right? A different mindset, right? But what is the most apt thing for you and your organization eventually boils it down to everything, right? So when we say what we have done differently, I think when Dr. Ankita Singh joined, and I was still in my early stages of being into recruitment, right? So when she joined, we had this vertical structure of reporting, right? The day she joined, she made it horizontal, so everybody reports to Dr. Ankita Singh now, right? So that was a flat structure that we introduced that time, right? She introduced, and what happened is, we all were open to talk, all our ideas, all our communication, all our maybe thinking out of the box or failures or whatsoever, it goes directly to her. She been into the senior most position, we know that we have been heard, so I'm sure you might have heard about the Chinese whisper thing, right? The
Correct.
message is being passed from point A to point Z, the message gets into different entirely different thing, right? Now
True.
imagine, that B to Y or Z, things disappear. Now you have A and Z, all the message, all the things that you want to convey directly goes to Z, and it's very clear, very crystal. We understand what we want. We know that somebody out there is hearing us loud and clear. uh, so it's again, for for our team it was apt, and everybody grew, be it from the HR team, be it from the resource management team, or the admin team. We all, since reported to her, we all grew together, right? We know that okay, this is what we are going to do next year. This is what we are going to do next quarter, right? So another thing is communication is the key. That is the baseline, right? Whatever you want to do with your team, communicate it well. That's the only mantra I think every organization, all maybe all the major leaders follow throughout, right? And you know,
The clear communication is the key to success.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Correct, correct, correct. If you are not able to, communicate properly with your team, or the message is not clear, then obviously you cannot accept the, expect the outcome from the team members.
we do not want to play Chinese whisper within the teams.
Correct.
Yeah,
And HR, I mean, we are the one who brings all the, all kind of a newses in the organization, whether it's good or bad.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, correct. I can totally relate with this. Thank you, Sham. Sonia, one more question which is coming up for you. That is, how to, in your organization, right? How you are cultivating a, sense of ownership and accountability within your team members. If you can talk about any methods that can ensure that team members take ownership of their work and outcomes.
Okay, so again, here, I would say lead by examples, because when leaders take ownership, they follow. Okay, that is the first thing I can say. And the other thing that we are mainly focusing on is, providing autonomy and periodic review. That is helping us really. So, first, what we're doing is we are setting clear expectations, and we are clearly communicating the team's goals and objectives and individual roles and responsibilities. That is the first thing. And then, we encourage them to take initiatives, make decisions, and within their areas of expertise and responsibility. So we also encourage them to, seek solutions independently, because, when you're working remotely, sometimes what happens is, the other person may not be available, correct? So
Correct.
it is very different, like uh, working from office and working from home, it is very different. So, so we encourage them to, seek solutions independently without, fear of failures. Okay, so, and next we give that freedom to make decisions and execute tasks in their own way. So we do not believe in micromanagement. So we think that, micromanagement can hinder ownership and creativity. So, we give them full freedom of, executing their task in their own way. And but, it is not only giving the freedom, but periodic review is also very important. So my husband says that, providing autonomy without periodic review, may lead to dictatorship. So, periodic review is also very important. So, a periodic review, it is also helping us in tracking progress and, addressing the challenges that is faced by the team members. And also we are celebrating that small wins of our team members. So we as an organization, we believe in encouraging autonomy, providing full support and resources to the team members, and we encourage this ownership mentality, and also we provide constructive feedback. And, we also celebrate the small wins of the team members. So this is really helping us in building the, ownership and accountability within the
Yeah,
team.
true. It is two-way. I can totally understand related. It's two-way. If you're supporting your team, then obviously they will also, give
Hmm.
back.
Yes, yes, true.
Yes, correct, correct. Thank you, thank you. So, my next question is for Shraddha.
Yeah.
So Shraddha, what do you think that there was a lot of talk about the Narayana Murthy's proposition of the 17 hours work week.
Right.
Yeah, so if you can, talk about your opinion. What's your opinion? What's your thoughts about this particular concept?
Well, see, personally, I think, considering the broader perspective, work life balance is very important and employee well being is very important. So when you say work life balance, you also need to have, like, see how many hours you're working, how much importance you're giving to your mental health, your physical health. And of course the productivity is important, but then productivity can also come with being giving full concentration on whatever hours you're working, like giving your full 100% or giving your full dedication to that, whatever hours you're giving it. So it need not be like 70 hours you need to do burnout and then have long work weeks. So that is not actually required. That is what I feel. But then, yeah, there are few people who may not feel that way. They are like some exceptional cases. Maybe like example is Narayan Murthy, of course. They have a different goal in their life. They want to reach somewhere. Like they have this thinking that they want to get into a company which they want to have a 100 million company or whatever. So they have certain different goals. So they actually naturally they work with those hours, like 70 hours or 80. They don't feel anything about it. But there are very few people who can actually do that. So most, if you say in common, people like us who are in like more numbers, I think the more it is important to have to be flexible in terms of working, and emphasis more on efficiency and flexibility rather than emphasizing on a number of hours. So this is what I feel, and more importantly, I think every organization should promote a healthy work environment, which involves recognizing the importance of work life balance. So providing flexibility, giving good culture, giving good values to the employees, that is more important. That is what I feel.
Yeah, correct. Even I feel that, the if the people are having the sense of ownership, accountability, then
Yes,
obviously the work outcome matters, not the number of hours.
exactly.
So different perspective by different individuals, right? Correct, correct. So thank you so much, Shraddha. So Dr. Siddharth, I would like your opinion about, what do you think? I mean, um, the single largest factor to transform the company's performance. Is there any mantra which can enhance the team performance, increase the outcomes for the organizations?
You seem to reserve all the tough questions for me. Okay. Uh, no, actually, it
And
seems tough
most
when it comes and hits you,
senior
right?
most in all of us right now.
Right. Can I take 3 minutes for this? I want to share two specific
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
instances.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So I think the first one is I think all many organizations have a massive opportunity in terms of appreciating employees. And let me qualify what I mean by that.
Mhm.
Um, if you take any well-known survey, for example, the Gallup, right? They say, well, did you get a recognition in the last 7 days or something to that effect, right? Which means if I am an employee, I should have at least got 52 recognitions per year. Okay, which means a company of 100 employees should have given away at least 5,200 recognitions per year, right? I'm not talking about rewards. I'm splitting rewards and recognitions. Recognition are typically, well, recognition for effort, for behavior, and rewards are typically for outcomes. It's probably a gift voucher or what have you. Often what happens is HR is typically in a cost cutting mode, or it's a scarcity mindset. And companies have, let me give you a funny example, right? Let's say a company of 100 people or a department of 100 people end up having, let's say, two best employees of the quarter award. Right now, what this means is there is a lot of bureaucracy in terms of nominations, approvals, etc. And by the time the awards are actually given away, one of those two employees might have left, and you have 99 employees, and then you give that one remaining employee, the best employee of the quarter, and just imagine what happens to the sentiment of the group, right? 98 people are fairly upset that they also put in a lot of effort, they put in a lot of emotional labor into the last quarter, and this one person has got it, right? So it can actually in some extreme cases isolate and kind of make this person very lonely. So if I had not done the so-called reward and recognition, I had 99 people who are kind of working and fairly okay. And by doing recognition, I have 98 upset people, one person who's kind of a little socially ostracized. Right now, this is I think important to understand when HR does any intervention, right? There's this well-known tea brand that says India runs on chai. I tend to agree and slightly change that and say organizations run on sentiment, right? If you want great performance, you got to have great sentiment, and HR has a great opportunity to work on and design efforts that make out that sentiment. And the other largest factor that helps in this are managers. In fact, that's the reason I have a passion project running on a website called unlocknow.org. I'll repeat that for those of us who want to go and visit that. It's called unlocknow.org. And what I do is, it's a completely pro bono initiative by me. I don't charge my friends anything. I just probably get a good induction kit and a nice little bouquet for what I do. I work with HR heads, young HR managers who are helping transform their own organizations by helping create managers as coaches. So I work with their managers for a day or a day and a half and make them top-notch coaches, workplace coaches. I wouldn't say executive coaches, but I'd say workplace coaches who are much better in transforming the lives of their team members, and in that way, their own lives and their lives of their families. So that's my long answer for your short question.
Thank you so much. But these are the wonderful insights. I mean, yeah, this comes to the minds of many people that, obviously, if you are praising only two people, giving award, praising them, but 99, remaining 98, contribution also matters. So yeah, that's really really great input by you, Dr. Siddharth. So, what I'll, just to summarize all the thoughts, I would say that, all the thoughtful insights, given by all the panelists were really, really, really great. And obviously, I would like to, thank all of you for contributing your expertise to this vibrant exchange of ideas. So, as we draw this insightful webinar to a close, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each one of our esteemed speakers, Dr. Siddharth, Sonia, Shraddha, and Sham. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your invaluable insights on team dynamics and all the listeners who joined us today. I hope you, whether a team leader or a manager, or if you are a aspiring professional, feel enriched with the practical approaches to optimize teamwork. So thank you all the panelists, and thank you all the listeners. Thank you, panelists, for joining us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally, learned a lot of things from you all. And thank you, Lokesh, for, inviting such a wonderful panelist. I thoroughly enjoyed today's session. So it was different fun moderating this session with, such a wonderful panel with us. So
Thanks, Archana. Even it was really great listening to all of them. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, everyone, keep following We360.ai for more amazing webinars that promise to expand your knowledge and professional growth. Goodbye, and I would look forward to our future engagements. So, I, Dr. Archana Tiwari, signing off for the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye
Good day.
bye.
Thank
Good
you.
day. Bye bye.